Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Raiti from Raiti's Rise. We're back here at Moss Nissan in Newport Richey, Florida, and guess what? I have that best-selling, this is Nissan's best-selling vehicle right here next to me. What am I talking about? Of course, I'm talking about the 2025 Nissan Rogue. This particular one is your entry trim, known simply as the Rogue S. But before we get into this compact crossover SUV with some big money savings, let's talk about what's going on here. So compact crossover SUV seems to be a sweet spot for many brands. Not only Nissan with the Rogue, but of course Honda with the CR-V, Toyota with the RAV4, Chevrolet with the Equinox, Toyota, I'm saying it again, with the RAV4. How about Hyundai with the Tucson? And then we can't forget Kia with the Sportage. And wait, I'm not done. Mazda with the CX-5 and CX-50, and Volkswagen with the Tiguan. Now, what's fascinating is it seems that prices for compact crossover SUVs just get higher and higher each and every day. But one thing that Nissan wants to try to stick to is bringing a value leader with this S trim. So what I want to find out is the Rogue S the most affordable vehicle in the current market, new vehicle? Don't tell me about a pre-owned BMW X5 that you talked about, that you saw with 300,000 miles on it. Not talking about that. I'm talking about brand new compact crossover SUVs. Let's go ahead, let's dive into this gunmetal Rogue S and see if we can find out. Right off the bat, you're still getting that fresh style. You know, when they did the redesign of the Rogue, they really did it right, because the style is showing that it can last without feeling too long in the tooth. Now at the front of the business, you are going to get LED daytime running lamp, but because this is an S trim, you are getting the old incandescent light bulbs for your turn signals. I'm not going to zonk that because we're talking about price point. Now working our way down, you do have LED headlights, and I love those large functional corner air curtains. And the way that they sculpt everything looks really, really good on the Rogue. Now, as we come across the front grille, instead of just getting flat black, you're actually getting a mixture of gloss black with these horizontal chrome style bars. Like I said, it elevates the feel of this base trim. Working our way down, the body color, and then on the lower portion, you have the flat black, which I'm okay with because this takes a better beating over time rather than gloss black. But let me know your thoughts still on the styling of the face of the Rogue compared to the competition. Now, as we rise up, seamless hood, nice and smooth, rises up and then plateaus off. We come around the bend. What are we working with wheel and tire when it comes to this base Rogue? In the past, it used to mean hubcaps. Not anymore. Look at what we got. Very, very attractive gunmetal gray Y-spoke wheel all the way around. 17-inch wheel in diameter, 235 on the width, 65 series sidewall, and I have to give it to Nissan for giving probably the most stylish wheel for a base trim I've ever seen. Now on the S, like the other trims, you are going to get flat black. So even if you go platinum, you're still getting flat black around the fender openings. Not going to zonk it because we're talking about price point. Coming down the side, you do have flat black on your mirror caps, and they black out the A-pillar with flat black, so that actually matches fairly well. You have some bright shiny metal work, just like the front grille, only along the top of the window frame openings, and then you're going to get flat black on your door handles and the same material along the bottom, which, like I said, base trim. Don't tell me about the CR-V sport touring trim you have. That's not a base. Don't tell me about the Toyota RAV4 Platinum. That's not a base. Base trim. Working our way towards the rear, nice quarter glass. Always like the way the style comes in the rear quarter panel. And then out back, you do have a nice long painted roof spoiler. You do have an exposed wiper, but all the competitors have that. We're gonna let that one go. Do like the way you have LED taillights, but of course, the Thomas Edison light bulbs, it's kind of cool how they smoke the lenses just to give it a nice sporty look. And then another thing I think is so smart is how they put the Rogue name, and with ours being gunmetal gray, it matches so perfectly. It actually really cleans up the back of the vehicle. And then working your way down, just simplicity. Flat black, whip body color up top, that's all you need. That's all you need. But why don't we go ahead, let's pop the hood and see what you're getting horsepower-wise for the money of this Rogue S. All right, guys, we got the hood popped. You do have a prop rod. Many of the competitors have a prop rod, so we're gonna let that one go. Underneath the hood, this is where it gets a little bumpy. So instead of an inline 4 like a lot of the competition, this is a 1.5 liter turbocharged inline 3. Now the good news is it does produce 201 horsepower and 225 pound-feet of torque. The bad news is it still is equipped with a CVT. Now the plus side is you're gonna get better MPGs, but the downside is it's a CVT. 0 to 60 in 8 seconds. Top speed is governed to 116 miles an hour, but listen to these MPGs, 30 in the city, 37 on the highway, and you can tow up to 1,500 pounds. And if you were wondering, if you're one of those people that when it comes to parking, you always hit the parking block, this does have 8.6 inches of ground clearance, which is kind of nice. But why don't we go ahead, let's fire up this 3-banger and hear what it sounds like. All right, guys, we are inside this 2025 Nissan Rogue S. I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, I'm actually happy you're doing this review because I need to look at affordability. I don't want a used car. I want a car with a warranty and something brand new. How much is this one? MSRP for the way that this Rogue S is optioned is right at $31,000. Actually priced very, very well in today's market, but let's see what you get when you go Nissan Rogue S. To the door panels, I do like the style. You actually get soft touch material up top, soft touch throughout the whole armrest area, and no gloss black around the switchgear. It's actually very tasteful looking. Door pocket is a little tight, so maybe 2 chicken bakes from Costco and a large Pepsi to wash it down. Now going from the door panel to the dash, more soft touch on the S trim with contrast stitching. You do have storage down below where you could put a bag of apples, maybe get some caramel apples, some candy apples. You could even put some bags of Twizzlers down there, but I'll be honest, I used to love Twizzlers. They changed the formula, the recipe, and they taste like candle wax. Blech. Standard infotainment system is 8-inch. Nothing, whoa, we're not ready to rock out to the outfield, even though I do love that song. And I'm all about 80s on 8, as you are aware. But 8-inch screen, easy to get to, soft touch material. Let's go into reverse. It's a little cloudy, but you do have trajectory, and it does take up all 8 inches for the backup camera. That's a nice touch. And then we're right back where we started. Working our way down, you got your standard AC controls, blower, temperature, your start-stop button for the engine, 2 USB-Cs, and a 12-volt. A place where you could put, I would say $500,000. No, not in cash, 500,000 gram bars right down there. You have your electric shifter for the CVT. Love this trim because it hides all the fingerprints. 2 cup holders, and you're getting the new key fob, not the old-fashioned one. You got your driver mode, that's the D mode. I'll show you that when you come to the business side. More nice soft touch with stitching. And then watch this. Bombs away. Ooh, we have room in here for a couple Haagen-Dazs bars. It's so hot, Lori and I are gonna eat those as soon as we're done. None for you. Seats, yes, they're cloth, but they're very simplistic, nice black. Manual adjustments for the passenger, manual adjustments for the driver. Don't even ask me about a sunroof because remember, this is the beige trim. But why don't you come over here to the business side? I wanna show you the wheel and what's behind it in this Rogue S. All right, guys, business time behind the wheel. There's those manual seat controls. I like them because they're very easy to figure out. And I love the way you can lower the seat because that gives me even more room. I'm 6 feet tall, plenty of room. Steering wheel, yes, it's the urethane style. This is the beige trim. You have your flat black switchgear on the steering wheel. You do have paddles to go up and down the simulated gears in the CVT. It is a manual tilting and telescoping wheel. And then the instrumentation is very straightforward. You actually have a 7-inch display in the center that you could scroll through a small cornucopia of information. Plus, you do have analog tach, speedometer, fuel gauge, and coolant gauge, which is nice as well. But other than that, organized exactly how you would get it on any other Rogue. But why don't we go ahead, let's get in the back seat, because I want to see what the Rogue S has in store for your passengers. All right guys, backseat time in this Nissan Rogue. There's not a lot to talk about, but you do get plenty of room back here, even for people that are taller in your life. You do get AC vents and a place for 4 Twinkies, so that's not a bad thing. I have a pocket here. I could put a couple coloring books. And you can, yes, it's okay. If you're an adult, they have adult coloring books. It's okay to color even when you're older. It's a good stress reliever. Maybe you have a little bit of lavender scent. I personally like eucalyptus. I'm a big eucalyptus guy. I feel like in another life, maybe I was a koala bear, but I would go eucalyptus with my scent. But sitting here, it's comfy. You even get a center armrest. I know that may not sound like a big deal, but on a base, those are things that usually they cut. They just rip it right out. But why don't we go ahead, let's get to the cargo area, because I want to go for a drive in this entry-level Rogue. All right guys, cargo area time, very important, especially on a compact crossover. Now don't reach underneath here, you're not gonna find a button. Button is down below, you're gonna hit it, and it is a manual lift, but it's so easy. The beach is that way, and as you can see, it's in the up position. You're gonna be greeted to a very generous, over 34 cubic feet of space with that back seat up. It's actually 36 and a half. You have the Nissan Nismo Twinkie holder. This is for a box of Twinkies. And of course, if you have Twinkies, you gotta have your Nismo holder for your gallon of chocolate milk. Remember, chocolate milk comes from brown cows. We all know that, right? Seats fold down, 60-40 split to give you that 74 cubic feet of space. And what's nice is that you are gonna get a spare. So you get a nice size spare. No storage underneath, but you get a spare, so you're not gonna be stuck on the side of the road. But if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's go for a spin in this Rogue S and see if it's worth the money. All right, guys, we're inside this 2025 Nissan Rogue S trim, entry-level trim. I'm gonna go ahead and put in sport mode. You do have sport, standard, and eco mode. Right away, I mean, the good news is that it has the same exact powertrain as the higher trims. The only thing that the S doesn't have is this one is all-wheel drive. But if you're trying to conserve price, you're gonna probably forego the all-wheel drive. You do have those simulated gears. That's gonna help keep the drone down of the engine when you go on throttle, because it is a CVT. Getting to the 8-inch infotainment system is well within reach. And the seats are very comfy. Even though they're cloth, they are very, very comfortable. Visibility is good out the front. And there's lots of usable space. The way that they organize this interior is very, very usable. We're gonna see how this 3-cylinder turbo goes about its business when we go on throttle here in a few short seconds. Of course, you have all the Nissan safety features. I'm right in front of a Toyota dealership here. On throttle, here we go, to keep you and your family safe. There's those simulated gears. And then it handles very balanced, very predictable. It's actually really quiet in here. There's not a lot of road noise, not a lot of wind noise. And on the outside, I don't think it looks like a base. So that's another nice touch. Some brands you can tell just right away. This one though, with those wheels, it changes the look, it changes the attitude of the vehicle. But if you're really trying to watch that bottom line, like I said, this does bring a lot for the money. Let's do a U-turn here. Easy peasy. On throttle, here we go. It's easy to read the information on the 7-inch digital gauge display with the analog gauges. And I mean, you're getting all the connectivity. USB-C's, a 12 volt. You gotta look at that price. Look at that price and see what else is available compact crossover SUV wise. I think you're gonna be shocked by prices for everything are just, they're nuts. They really are. But I'm hoping that this has been a good little quick review to give you some information on this entry-level S trim. You know me, I like to bring all the different trims. We're gonna get back to Moss Nissan and wrap this one up. So I'll see you in a split second. All right, guys, another day, another Nissan here at Moss Nissan. Definitely got to thank Christian and the rest of the team getting us access to this entry-level Rogue S. Now let me know what you think. Is this the most affordable compact crossover SUV currently available, brand new, that you think of in this lineup? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. If you like what you're seeing for the money, if you're new to the channel though and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raiti's Rise family. Got to give it up to LGR. She's been burning that midnight oil and she's really working hard. We're up to car number 7 today. So awesome job, Lori, for standing tough. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.